Hi, friends. Welcome back. My name's Caitlin, and you're joining me with Pink and Maine on this lovely Monday night. We're changing things up this week a little bit. I appreciate all of you and everybody who's been able to still come over and hang out. Normally, I am Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I have a work thing I have to go to tomorrow. So, thank you all again for coming to hang out with me tonight. We're going to have a little bit of fun with a winter themed card. It could be Christmas if you needed it to be, but we're going to push for more of a winter theme since the winter solstice is this week. Our first official day of winter, I believe, is the 21st. So to celebrate that, we're going to bring out some of my favorite stamps from Pink and Maine in general. These are so cute. These are from last winter. They are the Winter Cardinals, and the main stamp set looks like that. The sweetest little chubby cardinals. And then there's also a little mini set that has the cardinal in the birdhouse. It's called Winter Birdhouse. And I think we're going to use both of those. Before we get started, though, I wanted to catch up on my Advent. Sorry, and to also show you this one that I opened the other day that was absolutely amazing. So this was either Saturday or Sundays, and it's a whole little foilable kit with all of these goodies in one thing. So you get some background foilables, right? The bows and the snowflakes. And then you also get like toner versions of the stamp sets that we got. Well, these ones anyway. Like we did the snow globe on day one. These guys were stamps. So now I'm wondering if these are some of the images to come. I have no idea. But all of that came in the thing. And then you also got 2 pieces of foil that are so pretty. So I think one is the penny. I don't know the name of the other one. But so that was one of the ones over the weekend. We're not going to use these tonight. I figured we would open them. This is yesterday's. Oh, this says warm wishes. Maybe we will use this. I was going to stamp warm wishes from the stamp set, but maybe we'll use the die cut instead tonight because that's really cute. I like that. I had no idea. I've been trying really hard to avoid the video sharing the unboxing. And then this is a jar. This is today's. This is definitely a glitter or a flock or something. Oh my gosh. I forget who was, maybe Kendra was asking. It is flock. It is glitter flock. So this one is called Ice Storm. And it looks kind of like the Tinseltown glitter that we've used together before, mixed in with this really beautiful fluffy flock. And flock is like almost like little felt pieces loose in there. So maybe we'll play with that and the stickies on Thursday. Because we do have some new stickies that we looked at the other day. And I don't have any of the normal stocked flock. So now at least maybe we can use that one. Okay, so oh, Stamperoo said that the Cardinals are her favorite too. That makes me so happy. I saw lots of people talking about the weather. It's been crazy here too. I saw shout outs from Wisconsin, Ohio, California, Virginia, New Hampshire, Texas. Thank you all so much, Ontario, for checking out. Sorry, checking in. That one for checking in. And let's go ahead. Hello. There we go. Melissa, I don't know. I really hope Michelle releases these, especially like these for future. I'm not sure though. I haven't gotten that confirmed, but I hope she does because they're really cute. Some of this stuff is really, really fun. And I have a hard time imagining that she would order only tiny batches of this stuff. So maybe after the holiday. For anyone who also wanted the update from last week, we talked about, Dawn had the question of if you could sign up for the, if you could get the subscription items without being subscribed. And I did confirm with Michelle and Yoli that you can get that. It's just, it doesn't happen until after the release. So like once the release comes, and I think you get like a discount price if you're subscribed. So you don't get the discount price and you have to wait until the actual release versus getting it at the beginning of the month. But then they are available to purchase outright, which I did also message to Dawn because I told her I would. My mom had to remind me on the phone though after our live last week, to be fair. Yeah, see, Debbie, I think something like the little brushes, that to me sounds like something that could have been just for the Advent, because I would assume she was able to order a smaller amount of those. But to have a pink and main die custom made and only have an order in a small enough batch for the Advent calendars only, that would be more surprising to me. So I will try to find out for you guys this week. I literally just had that paper in my hand. Where did it go? What did I do with it? I took it away. I put it somewhere. I'm losing it, guys. There's one piece. I had a second piece. It's not this piece. Okay. Well, I'm sure as soon as I cut another piece, it will randomly show up. I put it over here. Just kidding. Oh yeah, that green and gold embossing powder was absolutely beautiful, Debbie. Yeah, I will ask her. I think the advent calendar, Melissa, I think it was like 70 or 75. I think it's still, last time I checked, it was still listed on the website. It was just listed as out of stock. So we can always check that later too. So I'm also stamping out this sweet little cardinal who is hanging out on this branch. I kind of wanted to play around with the one little cardinal in the birdhouse and then the other little cardinal kind of hanging out outside. He just popped over for a visit. And then we'll do that, we'll figure out that die cut because I have the Warm Wishes sentiment in here. And this is one of those stamp sets that has the coordinating dies for the sentiments as well. So I was going to go with Warm Wishes to keep it like a general happy card and not necessarily Christmas. But like I said, now I want to use that. We're going to leave these out because I'm probably going to need those dies. I want to let this ink dry just for a couple minutes. Let's see. out. That looks a little better. Just changing some settings around. All right, so I die cut. I use this biggest cover frame die. This is from the Fancy Frame Dies set, and it's pretty because you get like the little bonus flowers, and then these cut. You can make frames, you can do the inside and outside. So I just did that biggest one, and that's going to be the outside of our card. And we're going to pop it up with a little bit of foam and add our images in there. But I didn't want just a plain white background, and I didn't want to go crazy on on like the background either, because I figured most of it's going to get covered up. I'm going to put my stop sign cardstock away because I do have a scrap of that cardstock up here in case I need it. So I grabbed the snowflake stencil that came out last week. We haven't had a chance to play with it yet. And I figured we would just add some pretty snowflakes to our background, and then everything else can kind of just go right on top. So I'm just going to add some washi tape to the back of this. And I think I want a couple of the smaller snowflakes. I also grabbed the Lakeside ink. Oh no, Melissa, don't get sick. So I'm going to tap on some of that Lakeside and then tap some of it off onto the paper, because I definitely want this to be really soft. This is not meant to be the focus of our card. I just want these little snowflakes kind of peeking from the background behind these little sweet cardinals. And because I'm right on the edge, I did get a little bit of a line there, but I think I'll be able to cover that up. I guess we're going to do this one because it got, you can always use like a little Post-it to cover up any of these other snowflakes if you want to make sure you don't pick up their edges. Like that. Make sure we don't get ink in this little oval because I just did that. Yep. And we'll add another one of these big guys up in the corner. Honestly, I probably didn't need to add any of that tape to the back because it doesn't matter anyway. So this is just going to give us a little subtle, soft background for our birds to go on, just so it doesn't look like they're sitting on plain white cardstock. I still just want to give this ink as long as possible. So let's take that foam tape and let's pop this frame up. Yeah, Melissa, I'm guessing. Obviously I can't make any promises, but if we sold out of the Advent, I would assume that Michelle would try to do it again next year. The only thing is, I just know it took them so much work. Like it took so much to make those because they made every single one by hand, like assembled it by hand. But maybe she'll figure, maybe there's another way to do that. I have no idea. I don't know how you would make that a more automated process, or how to delegate that out, obviously. Um, so we'll see. Just cutting up tiny little squares. And I trimmed my white cardstock, my snowflake cardstock, down so it's just a little bit smaller than A2 sized. Like, I mean, I took like 1/8 of an inch, if even, from each, from the long side and the short side. But that way it's not quite so difficult to line it up. And what I'm actually going to do is go from the back side. Just like that. So we get that little bit of depth. And maybe our like little warm wishes can go right down there. I don't know. We'll figure that part out in a second. But also I love that the shape that gets cut out from that die is stitched. So now this can go on another card, right? You could have it like this and have it look like you have a white frame with that red shape right in the middle. I think that's fun. Thank you, Becky. I also really love red and teal together in general. So I figured on like our little scarf and stuff, we could do some like BG markers and play around with that color combination a little more. I just think they look really fun together. So put this at a little bit of an angle. All right, we're going to do some Copic coloring. We'll go with some M40s. We'll have this just be a little wood tone, neutrally house. I'm going to start by adding my shading under that top of the roof. And we'll add some shading along these artist drawn lines for those little like wood slats with green. And then we'll add some more right under that snow. And you know what, while we're here, for continuity, add some of this to the branch under that snow. And this guy, you don't really see that branch, so we're not going to worry about that for now. So that was 44. Next, we're going to go in with 43 and just start filling that in. I think I'm going to make the actual roof itself red. So we'll just worry about the base part of the house for now. Just work on starting to really elongate. Marker strokes. And then I'm going to go in with 42 as my lightest shade. Hey Heidi, how are you? Start really pulling that color through. My ink is still a little bit wet, it seems. So I'm trying to make sure I'm going with the grain, literally, for this one, so that if I do pull any of that ink down, it looks very intentional and like it belongs that way. Go. Go back in one more time with that 43 and just kind of add in some extra kind of really loose flicking motions to just break up that color a little bit. Oh, Heidi, that's so awesome. I hope you get to stop at the Pink and Mean store. And I'm gonna grab a super dark 40 marker. We'll go 49 and shade in this area around that little cardinal. That. Let's shade in the snow. We definitely want to keep the BG kind of tones going with this, like our snowflakes. So I'm going to go in with BG 11, and I'm going to add some shading to those little snow drips. Kind of under that holly. Just kind of want to break up that white space. A little hard. There you go. So definitely not dramatic, but it adds just a little bit of shadow. In person, you can see it a little more. And you know, even just for the sake of doing this live, I'm going to bring in my fluorescent BG, just because I really want you guys to be able to see. A little more of that color. So it'll end up being more vibrant in person than I would normally go, but I want to make sure it reads more accurate on the camera. Yeah. See, there you go. You get that like true hint of blue, and that's going to tie in really nicely with those snowflakes that we made. So that's our snow all done. Let's bring in some red. I'm going to go very like classic red for this because of that stop sign red. So that blue marker I brought in is called FBG2. It's it doesn't make any sense. It's called fluorescent dull, which those two things are opposites in my opinion, blue green. So it's the FBG2. I'm going to go in with my R89 right under that snow on the roof. And I'm also going to do the underside of the holly berries. We'll work on our cardinals next. I just want to make sure that this looks right. We're just going to fill in. There's such a small amount of space here. fill that roof in with our R29. Go. Pretty little pop of color. And then for our Cardinals, we'll go 59. Sorry, I might have said 89 before. We're doing 59, 29, and then we'll add some 27 in on the Cardinal. I'm going to do a red face. I'm pretty sure that's not accurate. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be doing black, but I just don't want to bring black into this. So we'll let the shading of these kind of be the reason that the face is drawn separately. Go in with that 29. I'm going to start flicking that color up. And then we can pull in that 27 for that little extra highlight. Bring in, right, we'll bring in YG68 for the little peak. Doesn't really look very different. I should have gone with something more yellow. So there's that little bird in there. He's so cute. And let's give him a little dark teal. Maybe we'll go bright teal because we have that bright background. We'll go, he doesn't have a lot of space, so we'll just do the BG49 along the bottom edge, and then BG23. And you know what else he needs is his holly to put it in. And this whole side will be done. So sticking with the BGs, just again for continuity, I'm going to go BG99, which is definitely still reads more green versus teal, but it has much more of the blue to it, so it'll all mesh together. So we do BG99 and BG96. I don't want to create extra contrast because we already have our red and teal colors kind of playing off one another. Add in those little eye highlights. You know, we love that. Kind of breaks everything up a little bit. So there he is in there. We can also add some little highlights to little holly berries. Just like that. So there's that page all done. Let's bring in this guy. I'm going to bring that BG99 in one more time. We're going to run that along these pine branch pieces. And then that 96 we'll use on all these little bits kind of coming out from there. Don't ever be afraid to spin and manipulate your paper. I found that if I do this, the faster that I do the flicks for my pine branches, the better my end result. It's much easier. It looks better, in my opinion, to do it a little bit faster and have it be a little bit messy versus trying to have it be perfect. Because I like that they look a little fluffy that way. And it's so easy, right? Just those two markers, and then that's taken care of. Red is trickier to work with, so I'm going to go ahead and shade in this scarf to match. While we're already here, you know? So going back in the same color as our other little guy scarf, that BG 49. And I kind of just want to emphasize where there would naturally be some shadow. I got a little carried away, but it's okay because there's fringe on the bottom, so we'll just pull that down. And then I still think we'll get away with just these two colors because there's just not a ton of room. We'll do the BG 23. And then the way I'm going to break this up even more is once it's dry, we'll go in with some of our white gel pen and give it more of a plaid feel. All right, so there's his little scarf. So those markers can go away too. And then let's get him shaded in. All right, so 50, yes. The higher the number of Copic, the less saturated the color is, the more gray is in the color. But they're amazing, especially for more, you know, quote unquote, take that with a grain of salt, but natural nature scenes. I just really love the way some of those unsaturated, desaturated colors pop. And it's fun to be able to mix some really brights with some desaturated colors. It gives you a really nice contrast. Sorry, I also forgot under. So that was the 59. Now we'll go 29. If you have 89 or 39, that would also work really well for these darker shadow layer. Overlapping that darker shade and then pulling that color up. That's going to help us to get a nice smooth transition. Making sure we're leaving enough space for our highlight. Hey B, Miss Judy B. Yeah, Melissa, in the browns, the 79s are amazing too. Those are those purples, those browns we use a lot that have kind of a purpley undertone to them. I love them. All right, this guy I'm going to try to bring in a more yellow. Let's go with 117. I think it's too late at this point to boost up that guy's beak, but that's okay. And his eyes are closed, so he's not going to get eye highlights. But now's when I'm going to go in and try to make this look a little more like plaid. So to do my plaid, I like to add my lines in between the black artist drawn lines. So we're going to go here through the middle, and you want to make sure you're overlapping those black lines. That's going to help to break it up and make it look like a pattern. And then we can also go that way. And this is what, to me, this just helps create that really fun, true plaid pattern. So these are two different layers of the scarf. So we're going to not cross over that black line. And I'm even going to try to make sure that they don't line up perfectly between those layers. And if you get a little messy, if you have a black tiny pen, you can always go back in and kind of clean that up. That. But that gets you that sweet little plaid pattern. I love that. All right, we're in the home stretch, guys. Let's grab my dies. Yeah, and Melissa, that trick, that scarf plaid trick works with any colors. I've done it for Halloween, Christmas, any color combination that you want. And if you have other gel pens, you could 100% go in with a colored gel pen or like a metallic, even if you wanted to have it look like there's a little like gold thread running through. I think that would be adorable. But if I don't have, I mean, I'm sure somewhere in my house I do, but here at my desk, I don't have colorful gel pens. But I feel like a blue, a light blue would have been pretty too. So there's our branch, and you can see on the branch, it has the string that's going to hold our birdhouse in place, you know, illustrated. Guys, back on. And I love that. I love any of these kind of die sets where you can do one or both. Like if you decide you just really love the birdhouse, but you don't need the big cardinals, you don't have to have the big cardinals. And the other way around, if you just really love the big chunky cardinals and you're not ready to get the whole gang, you don't have to worry about the tiny one. But if you're like me and you're a sucker for cardinals, I also have multiple family members who see cardinals as a symbol of someone who has passed away, coming to kind of check in on them. And so I personally love having cards like this in my stash to make sure that I get them to those people who will extra appreciate the cardinal cards. Okay. Let's come back out a little bit. And I have we should just die cut this right now out of the red. I have my warm wishes and my line. Oh, I am definitely feeling better this week, but bending over is still not enjoyable. Okay. Those guys. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. All right, well, I know I want him, I think anyway. I'm pretty sure I want him up here at the top. That, in my mind, this guy, even if we have to trim off a little bit, is going to be down here. You know what we need to do is cut a second layer out of white and we'll offset it. And that'll be cute. So I'm just going to cut a piece of my Ice Sweet cardstock scrap. Run that through with the Warm Wishes die one more time. And that way we can pop this wherever we want, over the red or the white or both, and it will be much more legible. We're going to kind of make a drop shadow with it. Melissa asked what kind of die cutting machine I use. I have a Sizzix Big Shot. She's a couple years old. She's seen better days, but she is still kicking. So, or do we want, no, I like the red on top. I think that stands out nicer. We can always add some white highlights too, bubble it up a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna go in with my Easy Squeeze liquid glue, and we're just gonna dot little bits of glue on the back. And take our white layer, and I want to put it up and to the right. You can do down and to the left if you want. Doesn't matter. I personally just am used to doing it like that, and that gives you that little bit of drop shadow where any parts that where the red overlaps the red, it's going to stand out a little nicer and just look a little more clean. But I also do like the idea of making these a little bit bubbly. So I'm going to go in with my white gel pen and add some little highlights. Especially around this eye, because there's no separation. Like that. There we go. So it just kind of gives it that bubbly kind of 3D feel. Yeah, I really like that. I might have to cut some tiny little foam slivers and pop that up a little bit, but I think that'll be fine. We're gonna put our branch and our birdhouse flat inside, and then we'll pop up the other little bird and our sentiment. Hey, Dawn. Oh no, I hope your power stays on too. That's crazy. Even if it's not super cold there, this is just like not the time of year. People are too busy. There's too much stuff to get done. Thanks, Heidi. Yeah, I think not only the drops, like you could do just the bubble letter highlights or just the drop shadow, and it would also like give it something. But I just think with how much other red and white is kind of around it, that having that combination is really going to make it sit the way I want it to. I'm gonna get this guy in how I want him, and then we can trim off the extra. Kind of want him a little bit lower. I think, and we'll let him kind of pop over that frame. Just like that. Put this over and just trim off the little edge. I guess that can just go flat inside. Yeah, I don't mind that. That'll be easier than cutting slivers of what background die set is this from? The frame that we're using is the fancy frames. It comes like this. We use the outer cover plate for this one. Whoop, glue's getting a little drippy. Yeah, I think warm wishes. And then you know what this does need is some sparkle. So really quick before we wrap up, we are going to go in with our cool jelly gems. And I think I want, yeah, we're going to go with these iridescent because they have the teal, but they also have a little bit of pink. And I like how the pink is going to tie in with the all the red. So we'll do like in the middle here. I'm going to kind of let the maybe let's try 3 to start. I was going to add more, but you guys know I'm aiming for self-control here. Well, that was way too much glue. I feel like having those 3 just at the bottom is awkward. They look like they just got, like I ran out of time or something. There we go. Yep. So now we have that little just bit of sparkle. Our warm wishes. I love that so much. And then I'll just pop this whole thing onto a A2 size card base. Yeah, Melissa, gem placement does not feel like it comes naturally to me either. But that's okay. All right, so that is our card all wrapped up. I am so grateful to you guys for coming to hang out. I hope you enjoyed this little winter celebration card in honor of the first day of winter happening later this week. And also thank you guys for hanging out on this Monday instead of a Tuesday. Hopefully to anyone who didn't catch that before, you find me in the replay. You're watching this on Tuesday, and that's fine. Thank you so much, Heidi. You as well. Happy holidays to everybody. I will be back on Thursday. There we go. I will be back on Thursday. And I think we're going to try playing with those stickies and the flock and some glitter. But if you have any other requests or you'd like to see a certain kind of card, we can put them on slimline, mini slimline, A2, tags. If there's a certain style project you're looking to see that we haven't done in a while, feel free to leave comments for me and I will come back to check. But otherwise, I will see you back here on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Until then, I hope you have a great couple days. And yeah, everybody stay safe, stay warm, and I will see you guys soon. Until next time, happy crafting, guys. Good night.